Houston, this is a big time move. This is going to be couched more than likely as a great move for the Washington Commanders to get the much needed protection for Jaden Daniels, and that's great. That's great. Let them have that up there. I'm going to tell you right now, for me, this is a win now move for the Houston Texans. Getting out of the Laremy Tunsil business is the biggest, boldest move that Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans can make to show how serious they are about fixing the O-line, about setting a championship, and about allowing their new OC and O-line coach to do their jobs with no exceptions made, baby. This is big. This is a big-time move for the Texans, and we'll see how they end up going about shuffling the deck at the offensive line position. Luke, I know I'm not. Are you concerned at all about their ability now to protect their quarterback?
No more than I was an hour ago.
Right.
So this doesn't change that. And that's the funny thing, stats, and I'm a big stats guy, but stats are like bikinis. They show a lot, but not everything. And so everyone's saying, with Tunsil.
I like that. I've never heard that one before.
So, a lot of people right now are saying, Tunsil, here's what the Commanders are getting, ranked second in this, third in this, yada, yada, yada. But for the reasons that you already laid out, Clint, a lot of the numbers do look good for Tunsil, but for those that watched him consistently week in and week out, a lot more of the bad as well. And that's why I think for the Texans, it is that addition by subtraction. And now moving forward, we'll see what happens with the contract, who's paying what. If the Texans theoretically don't have to pay anything, reports are it would create $14 million in cap savings. And now the Texans also have 8 draft picks in this upcoming draft, which is supposed to have plenty of good offensive linemen. They'll have a couple extra draft picks in next year's draft as well with this trade. 2 of the picks from this trade go to this year, 2 to next year. So they're set up to try to make some moves now to improve this offensive line, whether through these draft picks. The only round they don't have a pick in is the 6th round. They have 2 picks in the 3rd round. So they get extra salary cap space potentially, depending on if they had to chip in money on this deal. And now you could go out and, try to be a little more aggressive in improving the offensive line after getting rid of guys like Shaq and Tunsil.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, look, I've said this a million times. Like they have, and they've said it. The Texans have said it. The Texans have repeatedly said, hey, look, we've got to fix the pass protection from the inside out. We've got to make sure that we can protect the inside. And as an old quarterback, I'm here to tell you, I don't give a damn how good my tackles are. If my center guard, any or all of them together, are always pushed back into my lap, now I got to retreat back. I got to retreat outside. And whether that's a defensive end peeling off of the side that I'm rolling to, or it's a defensive end that's chasing the high side, and either way it goes, I'm a sitting duck. And I know, look, C.J. Stroud is a good athlete. He's proven the Georgia game coming out of college. He proved a couple of times this year that he's a better athlete than we give him credit for. But the reality of it is, if he doesn't have anywhere to push up into the pocket, he and every other quarterback out there is going to struggle. And I don't give a damn how good you are on the edges, right? Here's the deal. You move right now the way they are set right now. You move Titus Howard to left tackle. You let Blake Fisher be your right tackle. You freed up cap space with several moves that you made, restructuring deals, cutting Shaq Mason, trading Laremy Tunsil. Now you've created some cap space. Now you can go out there and you can get a left guard. You can go out there and get a center. You can go out there and get a right guard, whether that's free agency or it's the draft, and guys like Jarrett Patterson to some degree at center. You can have a healthy competition with guys like Juice Scruggs at one of the guard positions or at center. You've got not only a front line, but you've got much better depth than you had last year. I don't know what the Texans are going to do, but I have zero concerns about the tackle position with this football team. If your offensive coordinator is worth, his worth his weight. If he's just a competent NFL offensive coordinator, if you don't have top-tier tackles, it is very simple and very common to have help solutions with your tackles. Where it's hard to have help solutions and your hands are really tied is when your guards and your centers aren't worth a damn, right? Then you got to go. You got to slide. You got to slide everything, right? You can't. there's just fewer options of getting help inside there. And you've got to show your cards to the defense by moving the running back up in the A-gap or stopping the tight end in the A-gap or help both and getting those guys that help that they need inside there, right? So firming up the interior of this offensive line is much more possible right now. And not only is it's more possible from a cap space, but it's also more possible from a coaching perspective for these guys to get it done. So for what it's worth, I have no concerns with the protection. I think you put it best, Luke, right there. You don't have any more concerns right now than you had, and he had just much concern when Laremy was a Texan to when he wasn't, man. It's crazy because this could be a win-win for everybody involved. Yep. Right? Because, Laremy Tunsil is a great pass-protecting offensive lineman, no doubt about it. Now, there's penalties, as you mentioned, that come along with it. I don't like the off-season stuff and the antics that he pulls in the offseason, because when he's allowed to do that, then the other guys feel like they can act a certain way. The head coach can't hold them accountable. But the reality of it is, if you plug Laremy Tunsil into a system that's already got leaders, the head coach is already, establishing, the culture and the physicality and all that comes with that, then Laramy's going to be fine. The problem is in Houston, you need, and in the offensive line room, you needed Laremy Tunsil to be more than just one of the best pass blocking tackles in the game. You needed more. You need more out of that money. You need more out of the captain. You need more of an impact player that can impact the guys around them than just do their job at an elite level. That's where I'm at. All right, I'm Clint Stoerner. Luke Morrow is in the building for Ron Hughley today. Tyler's on the ones and twos in the back. The big news, the Texans have traded Laremy Tunsil to the Washington Commanders and got back a boatload of picks.